So then, what led you to decide to go study in Medina at the Islamic University there?
Yeah, so like I said, man, when you first embrace Islam, or at least for me, I embraced Islam and I had all of this passion. I wanted to practice Islam to the best of my ability, but I didn't have the knowledge to do so. So I would go out and do things and I'd meet different people in different groups, calling to themselves in different sects and this, that, and the third. And it just started getting overwhelming. Like, you know, this group are calling me to one thing. This group is telling me that they're wrong and to stay away from them. People are saying you should follow a madhab. Which madhab? I don't like, just pick one. And I'm like, well, I don't know which one, And it was just like, I was like, look, I need to go somewhere and study the deen, And I remember like emailing, like, it's funny when I look back, man, how desperate I was. Like I would email like top clerics who were like all over the internet giving dawah, some of the most famous. And I'd email them like, please, I need to go somewhere and study. Like I didn't know what to do, but I eventually met a brother and he told me about the Islamic University of Medina. He was telling me about this group that I was running around with. And he was saying, look, akhi, this group, they're not really following the Quran and Sunnah. And I was like, well, akhi, I don't know. How am I supposed to know about the Quran and Sunnah? He's like, well, there's this place in Medina. You can go. They give you a scholarship. You can learn Arabic. You can memorize Quran. I was like, oh, mashallah, that sounds perfect. I would love to do that, And then shortly after that, it might have even been the next day, a friend of mine, another brother about my age, he called me and he said that he said, I'm going to go make Umrah with my dad. I'm going to apply to the University of Medina. I was like, mashallah, that's exactly what I want to do, Like Allah has just made things so easy for me. Alhamdulillah, ever since I embraced Islam, things like that have just happened. I mean, like even meeting with you, akhi, like we just happen to be like in the same place at the same time. Like Allah has just facilitated things for me, alhamdulillah. And studying in Medina, it was similar. I just basically tagged along with this brother and his dad, made Umrah. They helped me apply. And a year and a half later, I was in Medina, alhamdulillah.
Was there anything that you learned or anything that you expected from the University of Medina or from your studying Islam, but that turned out not to be the case, or you learned something that you had no expectation of?
I think that the University of Medina and seeking knowledge abroad in general, it's sort of romanticized. People think that, I'll just go to Medina and I'll go to class and all the knowledge is just going to go into my brain and I'm going to be a scholar. But it's like you really have to work hard. Like you have to put in the effort, And that's something that I didn't really realize until I was in that situation where I was overseas. Like in level 1 of the Arabic Institute, they don't teach you alif, ba, ta. Like you have a teacher who is teaching you Arabic in Arabic. You have classmates. Some of them have already memorized the Quran. They already know Arabic. Some of them are Arabs themselves. They're just brushing up on their grammar, or they're like buying time to live in Medina and study. Like, I want to memorize Bulugh al-Maram before I enter Kulliyat al-Sharia, And meanwhile, some people like me, like I've been Muslim 2 years. I was a Muslim for 2 years when I was in Medina in level 1 of the Arabic Institute. And there's like maybe 1 or 2 of us like that. And we're like, subhanAllah, what are we going to do, And it's like, at the end of the day, you just got to put in the work, man. You have to really want it. Like, you have so many hours in the day, you have so much energy, and you have to use your time wisely. Whether you're in Medina, whether you're in the United States, the UK, Germany, wherever you are, it's really, you have to put in the work one way or another, So a lot of people, they come to Medina and subhanAllah, they realize this the hard way and they end up leaving. I mean, it happens over and over again. People come and they're like, it was their dream to come, and then they end up leaving. Like, subhanAllah, it happens so often. So that's something I wanted to let the viewers know who are interested in seeking knowledge. It's like, it's about your will. It's about, you doing what you can do, whether you're in Medina, whether you're wherever you are,
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't appreciate that. Like, they themselves might not be students of knowledge or have any interest in pursuing that, but they also have a kind of low level of respect or concern for actual students of knowledge and actual scholars, and they don't recognize that the sacrifices that these students and these scholars have put in to reach where they are. It's not easy. And so it's very unfortunate that as a community, some parts of the community are not really appreciative of the ulama, of the tulab al-ilm, and so forth. So, Jazakallah khairah for putting in that time, because now you're able to benefit people. Alhamdulillah.